What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you saw in a previous video, I decided to replace the factory front rock guards with the ZL1 add-on rock guards. And I did a video showing how these were different from the factory and how they stuck out a little bit further. So today's video is actually going to be, I'm changing out the JLT Performance. This is the JLT Performance rock guard. I went ahead and bought the ZL1 add-ons to match the fronts. One of the things I didn't like about the JLT is you can see how far that the rock guard goes into the wheel well. That piece way in there doesn't actually attach to anything. It's just kind of there. Always seemed kind of silly to me as to why they made it that long. I guess maybe you could say it's protecting underneath the car a little bit better, but I don't know. But anyway, the ZL1 add-ons are here. I'm going to go ahead and put them on, and you can see the one on the bottom here is the JLT Performance. The one on top is the ZL1 add-ons, and you can see how much shorter they are from the perspective of actually going into the wheel well. They're actually quite a bit shorter overall from the JLT Performance. I'm not sure I'm going to like that. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. But they do go up way higher. The JLT actually stops right around here where that second body pin location is, whereas the ZL1s go all the way up. And they actually get held in by 3 push pins. So there's one there, there's one there, and then the one all the way at the top. Whereas the JLT Performance only gets held in by that one there and that one there. So after I get done putting this on the car, I'll show you what it looks like. At the end of the day, I may put the JLTs back on and actually trim off this area over here. I might just trim this off. I don't know. They're the same width, so I'm not getting any more protection from the ZL1s as it relates to sticking out and covering more of the tread. I am a little concerned that they're a little bit shorter than the JLTs, which means, more stuff is going to get kicked up underneath. So I'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, like I said, I'll do a little bit video after I put this on so you can see what it looks like on the car. And then ultimately, if I decide to cut down the JLT and put it back on the car, I'll let you guys know that as well. Alright, so here's the ZL1 add-on installed. You can see it doesn't really come down a whole lot further than the quarter panel does. I'm going to roll around to the other side real quick so you can see the JLT Performance in comparison. You can see how much further that actually hangs down. As far as I'm concerned, that's going to provide a lot more protection as it relates to stuff kicking up and hitting the bottom of the quarter panel. The other thing that I'm not a fan of with the ZL1s, and I'll show you why this is occurring in a second, but you can see this thing has a tremendous amount of side-to-side play as it relates to it being mounted, and that's occurring because the ZL1 add-ons, look at the diameter of the push pin hole versus the diameter of the JLT Performance. Let's see if I can figure out a way to show this without it. You can see the ZL1 add-ons is significantly larger. They also, I kind of like this, they countersink the hole so that the push pin is not raised above the surface of the rock guard itself. The problem is this countersinking is wider than the diameter of the top of the push pin, and that is ultimately what is allowing that thing to move around like that. Here you can see if I can get it from this angle. You can see, right there, you can see it moving around the push pin there. This upper push pin, again, you can see it moving back and forth, and those push pins are all the way in, so it's not like the push pin itself is loose. I just really don't like this much play in this thing. I also don't like the fact that it doesn't hang down enough as far as I'm concerned to provide more protection. I do like the fact that it comes up and it hits the third push pin, which to me seems a little bit more secure than the JLT Performance. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up using the ZL1 Addons as a template to determine how far off over here I'm going to cut from the JLT Performance, so that this piece that hangs over just isn't there anymore. So we'll see how this works out. All right, so I went ahead and used the ZL1 Addons rock guard as a template to cut down the JLT Performance one. So you can see, obviously the left side didn't have to be done, but the right side, I cut it, and I have it following the line of the ZL1 add-on. There's a couple of pieces I need to trim off right there because the JLT has a different profile on the edge there, so I got to kind of cut that out to make that work. Tried to round the edge as best as I could using these snips. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to basically sand this down to make it smoother, because right now it is very jagged and it's very sharp. So that's the next step. All right, so I got the one JLT cut down and filed the edges, used the Scotch Brite pad to soften up the filing, and I'm really happy with the one side. That was the passenger side. So I ended up using it as a template for the driver's side. The only challenge with using something like these snips here to cut down this ABS plastic is the blade width makes it a challenge. If the damn thing will focus. The blade width makes it a challenge to try to get a perfect line on the second rock guard. Obviously, if I was using a... Jesus, why won't this thing fucking focus? If I was using a saw or something, I would have been able to get this much tighter, but what I'm going to do now is file this down and get it as close as I can to the other side, and as far as I'm concerned, it'll be acceptable for me. I mean, obviously you're not going to see both of these rock guards at the same time again while they're on the car, so you know, if somebody wants to measure the fact that I'm off by a millimeter, so be it. I don't really care. As far as I'm concerned, you know, it's going to be close enough for me. Alright, so today's little project is complete, and I have modified both of the JLT Performance rock guards to get the inside. You can see the inside of the JLT no longer passes the piece of the plastic inner wheel well like it did before. It stuck out way into the middle there. So this is a JLT Performance rock guard, but it has the inner profile of the ZL1 Addons rock guard. So as far as I'm concerned, this is really the best of both worlds. The only thing I don't like, again, is I wish the JLT actually came up and hit that push pin as well. But at the end of the day, this JLT connection is way more solid. Let me turn the flashlight off for a second and show you. Alright, so there is very little play in this, and if you see, the actual whole panel is moving. It's not the rock guard moving, it's the entire panel moving. So this has a much tighter attachment, if you ask me. And then again, the biggest benefit to me is the fact that, you know, the rock guard protects so much lower. So I've done both sides. So again, this is the finished project. So you can see here's the other side. They roll around and see the inside here. So again, just like the other side, the JLT is now cut down, and it's matching the ZL1 Addons profile on the inside there. So, you know, this is my own personal preference. I think both of these rock guards in their original form are probably adequate for people. I'm just a little anal retentive when it comes to things like this. I wanted the maximum amount of tread protection. I wanted the maximum depth of protection down here. Eventually I do plan on taking this car to the drag strip, and I found with the 2016 the JLT rock guards were beneficial. There was never any rubber on the vertical surface of the quarter panel. Never had to clean the quarter panel after a day at the drag strip. Down here was the only area that actually caught any. I'm thinking with these being so low, maybe even that won't be a problem with this vehicle. So again, I think both of these options are good options for people. But you know, if you're you know, a little ridiculous like I am, You know, I think that the ZL1 add-on profile on the inner wheel liner, I think that profile is better than the JLT, but I think the JLT provides better overall protection since it hangs down lower. So anyway, thanks for watching.